I'm very pleased to be here at UNESCO to discuss access to culture for all and cultural rights for all without discrimination. As the UN Special Rapporteur in the field of cultural rights, I am an independent expert appointed by the UN Human Rights Council, and I serve in my individual capacity. And my role as Special Rapporteur is to report on the enjoyment of cultural rights by all to the Council. I write 2 thematic reports in the area every year, one for the General Assembly and one for the Council, as well as carrying out country missions, and I can communicate with governments confidentially about cases that are brought to my attention. Cultural rights are an integral part of universal human rights. They are guaranteed by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in its Article 27. They're also guaranteed by the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights in its Article 15. And they go to the core of who we are as human beings: our right to take part in cultural life, artistic freedom, the ability to participate in and benefit from science. These are a core part of universal human rights, and to achieve those rights, we must make sure there is full implementation of cultural rights. One of the threats to cultural rights is the misuse of a cultural rights argument as a kind of cultural relativism in an attempt by states and other actors to justify violations of human rights. This is completely unacceptable. Cultural rights are a part of universal human rights, and they must respect those rights. They are not the same thing as cultural relativism. I talk about the 3 Ps: the need to protect public space, the need to promote arts and culture, and the need to participate in cultural life. These are 3 key aspects of what people everywhere in every region of the world can do to enjoy their own cultural rights and to ensure the cultural rights of their fellow human beings, because cultural rights and the joy of participating in culture belongs to all of us. Some of the strategies for promoting access to culture that I think are critically important are, first, for international mechanisms such as myself and UNESCO to cooperate, to work together, and I'm so pleased that we have the opportunity to do that today and beyond. We also have to make sure that there is adequate funding in the cultural field, that all governments are at a minimum meeting the UNESCO 1% target of budgetary expenditures being devoted to culture. We also need to make sure that culture and cultural programs are participatory and consultative, that those who are affected by these programs are actually consulted and are able to give input in shaping them. And I think these are some of the critical strategies in ensuring cultural rights, and that really depends on all of us. In the mandate, we have looked in particular at the threats posed to cultural rights by diverse forms of fundamentalism and extremism in every region of the world. And we are seeing these sort of claims for cultural purity, attempts to censor the arts and sciences as well, coming from these movements. So I have looked at that particular set of threats. We've also seen, as UNESCO has in its work, the intentional destruction of cultural heritage going on again in many different regions of the world, and the need to take international action to meet that threat to the heritage of all humanity. I would also single out the problem of sexual harassment, in particular of women, though it is of women and men, in the sphere of culture and the arts, which is completely unacceptable and which has been coming to light thanks to social media and social movements. And we need to make absolutely certain that women can participate in cultural life everywhere in the world in full equality. For more information about the mandate of the Special Rapporteur in the field of cultural rights, please consult the homepage of the mandate, or you can follow us on @UNSRCulture.